Cigar City Management is proud to announce our first official South by Southwest showcase. We are now official, Jason. The South by Southwest Overlord said we exist. And that's happening Friday, March 16th at Lambert's in downtown Austin. And it's featuring Fruit and Flowers, Ex-Girlfriends, The Fantastic Plastics, Send Medicine, Parrot Dream, and Death Hags. Doors open at 7 p.m., but we're partying all the way to the legally mandated 2 a.m. cutoff time. That's a city of Austin.
Man, that's late.
Mandated. Yeah, 2 a.m. 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So if you're heading to South by Southwest, come hang with us Friday, March 16th. For more details, head to cigarcitymanagement.com/SXSW2018.
March 16th. That's a mandate.
Yeah, it is.
I'm Tommy Stinson.
This is Brian Bell from Weezer and The Relationship.
This is Gwar.
This is Ian Beckel.
This is Cindy Wilson.
This is They Might Be Giants.
We're the Regrets. And you're listening to Cigar City Radio.
Cigar City Radio.
Cigar City Radio.
Cigar City Radio.
Welcome to a Gasparilla themed episode 68 of Cigar City Radio. I'm going to the Macho Man. I can only do Macho Man. Welcome to Cigar City Radio, episode number 68. I'm your host, Randy Ojeda, and making the magic happen, a man who donates blood on the regular.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Jason Solanas.
Would you dare to say, Sir Randy, the Gasparilla pirate of the Southeast United States, that we are? I'd venture a guess to say yes.
Oh, no.
Definitely bleeping that.
Definitely need more Macho Man.
Would you say, Randy, that we are the of the Southeast?
Yeah.
The episode you're about to listen was recorded at the world-famous Blind Tiger Cafe in the heart of Ybor City, Tampa, Florida. The Blind Tiger Cafe is a speakeasy-inspired coffee house to serve vegan pastries, coffee, tea, beer, kombucha, etc., etc., etc.
Our guests on this episode are Tampa, Florida duo Ries Brothers. That's Charlie and Kevin Ries, and they're actually brothers, or so they claim. The Bluesy Brothers make music that's a mix of rock, blues, funk, and reggae, and they've taken their two-man show across the country, opening for the likes of Los Lonely Boys, Chicago, REO Speedwagon, Little River Band, the Edgar Winter Band, the Family Stone, like a lot of incredible bands, and they're fresh off the road from a national tour with G-Love and Special Sauce. You might remember G-Love was on episode 66 of our podcast just a couple weeks back. He had some great things to say about Ries Brothers, so we're glad we got to chat with them. Ries Brothers are performing Saturday, March 10th at 1 p.m. at Gasparilla Music Festival. That's happening in Curtis Hickson Park right here in downtown Tampa. They're sharing the Frontier stage with Warpaint, Spoon, and The Roots that night, not to mention Father John Misty, who's playing there the next night at Gasparilla Music Festival, which is happening both Saturday and Sunday, March 10th and 11th. Cigar City Radio will be on site at the festival, so come say hi to us. We'll be giving out Cigar City Radio stickers and other swag while supplies last. It's one of my favorite festivals of the year, so I highly recommend it. Come out, support local music and national music. It's one of Tampa's best stages. For more on the Ries Brothers, head to RiesBrothers.com. That's RIES Brothers.com. So here it is, episode 68. It's a Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Ybor City, Florida. We're hanging out with the Ries Brothers, who are playing at the Gasparilla Music Festival.
Hell yeah.
Saturday, March 10th, 1 p.m. at the Frontier
1 p.m.
stage.
Yep.
So, but the Ries Brothers, you guys have just been all over the place, right?
Yeah, it's we've been really busy lately, so we're really fortunate, and because that's what we want to be. So,
well, first off, let's back up. So we have Charlie and Kevin,
Yes.
right?
Kevin.
First question: are you really brothers?
Yes.
we are.
Are you sure this isn't like a White Stripes thing?
No,
where it's like, are
I
they
mean,
brothers? Are they?
No,
we've
you
talked
know,
about, we've wanted to, try to maybe one day, like, maybe do something like weird like that, where we get people to think that we're not or something, just
to
for
mess
fun,
with
yeah.
Because
But
you guys have very individual looks. Like you don't.
Right.
I can see the brotherly connection, but
Yeah.
you guys have different styles too.
Yeah.
So I could see how people would think that maybe you're not actually brothers.
Right.
Right.
I'm 19, he's 22, and so a lot of people think we're like twins, but like
we've gotten twins a lot, but also we've gotten Are You Brothers, so it's like. But yes, for the record today, yes, we are.
Okay, so you are indeed brothers.
yes.
And then you've been playing music since you were how old?
Pretty young. I mean, for as long as I can remember, I was at least taking piano lessons or something from when I was like 6 or 7, and then when I was 9, I started playing drums. When I was like 13, I really got into singing. Kevin was a really good baseball player for a while.
I played baseball from like age 5 to like 12, and then I realized I picked up the guitar and I'm like, this is way more fun for me. So I took guitar lessons, and then he was in a few different bands just as a drummer before and a singer. And then we started jamming together in our house because we're brothers. We can jam whenever we want in the house. Yeah. And we're like, why don't we just start, a band as us?
Yeah, and Kevin joined one of our like middle school bands or whatever as a bass player. Mm-hmm. And then, we slowly started to realize that we really wanted to do this. Like, for like a living, like that was kind of becoming our dream, and no one around us really had the same aspirations. So we're like, why don't we just do this ourselves?
Yeah,
like,
just do it, just the two of you guys.
Exactly.
So do you ever have moments where you're like, because I don't know, I guess it depends on the relationship you have with your brother. Like, are you guys really tight, or do you have these times where you're like, oh, I just don't even want to look at you?
There's times when we'll fight, but like once we're on stage or we're creating music together, it's like, we get along.
Yeah, the music really helps us get along in a way,
yeah.
I'd say. Because that's like when we like improvise on stage, there's like these like really special moments that I feel like being brothers, it really helps to have those, and it really like makes you feel lucky to have each other even through all the bad times. Even if we are fighting over a song or whatever, sometimes we fight when we're writing if we have different ideas, but when we come together and it blends in well together, that's like really something special. So the good outweighs the bad by a lot.
So how could writing create tension for two brothers? Is it that each of you want your idea to be implemented, or
pretty much we're usually good about it, but we do come from very different musical, we have really different musical inspirations. I'm a huge fan of like rock, alternative rock, blues rock, classic rock, and Kevin's basically a reggae head. That's what he brings to the table. Yeah. So we combine those two kind of to make the sound, and I think we do a really good job at it, at getting both of our ideas in there evenly. Yeah,
definitely.
So when you do fight, what is the conflict resolution like? Like, do you just leave each other for a few hours and then figure it out and come back together? Or?
We're good about admitting, whose idea is better in the end.
All right.
Like, we're good at that, I think. At first, you're like, no, this is mine. This is how it's going to be. And then you're like, you know what? I think his actually is better.
So is there a person who is generally more often right, or is there a person that... Or is it kind of even?
I mean, we're both going to answer differently.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
So you're talking about that mix of like blues and reggae and rock, and that kind of creates kind of the bedrock of your sound, which makes sense why you would be chosen to open for a guy like G Love, and G Love and Special Sauce. We actually had G Love on the podcast.
Yeah, we heard that
a couple weeks ago when you guys
did
were
the whole thing. It was
at
awesome.
Janice. Yeah, he spoke very highly of you.
Oh, yeah, he's the best.
So what was it like touring with him?
Absolutely incredible, and he's the coolest guy like that. He's like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah,
really.
like he walks into a room and you're like, that guy's the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah, there's something about him, and
his vibe.
Extremely talented. He was super nice to us. The crew and the band were super accommodating, and they don't have to be to us because we're I mean, this is like our 5th year of being a band, but to them we're like brand new, coming up. Because that was our first full national tour. Like we've done regional tours, like we've gotten to tour with like Chicago and Butch Trucks of the Allman Brothers, but that was like Southeast runs.
Yeah.
First full national tour they took us on, so they could have been like, who are these kids? But they were like, no, you guys, we want to help you guys out because bands helped us out when we were, and that was really cool. Because they were getting to talk to G, and he's like, yeah, bands took us on tour when we were nobody. So we love the fact that we get to do that now.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it was
really crazy, like how the tour came together too. Because we were, I'm a huge fan of G Love. I've been since I was a little kid, and him and Jack Johnson were 2 of my idols, and I grew up listening to them. And so we heard about the tour, and our manager reached out to G and their crew, and it's kind of happened. And we were shooting a video out in New York, a show we were live taping, and it was. What was the day on that?
September. We were supposed to do a taping at the Iridium in Manhattan. We're going to tape a full live concert and then make like a DVD out of it or a live album. We weren't sure what we're doing it with it yet, but we had this great film crew that was going to work with us, and then they called us like a few weeks before, and they're like, we have to bump you a few days because we have Jack Johnson coming in to film. And we're like, he's one of our favorites. So we're like, if we're going to get bumped, Jack,
might as well be Jack Johnson.
You can take our time anytime you want, Jack. But and they were filming for Front and Center, which just aired like a couple days ago, which is really cool. And G Love was up there with him for the filming. But since they bumped us, they invited us to that show. So that's the first time we ever met G Love, was up there in New York. And so that's how he kind of met us and got the introduction. And then from there on, we followed up with him, and our manager contacted him, and we got it rolling. And then when the tour was announced, we really pushed hard, and we got it, and we found out like 2 weeks before that we had it.
That's awesome.
So we were, ecstatic. Yeah.
So what are those 2 weeks leading up to that tour like when you
find
out that you're going to be touring in 2 weeks?
It was crazy. It was like, get the sellers together, get everything together.
Yeah, the first holy crap, because I don't know if I can curse on here.
You can curse on.
Yeah. Fuck.
Okay, yeah. The first I'm like, holy fuck, holy shit, we're fucking touring with G Love, and then it's like, okay, now we got to get a set together. Let's do this. We got 45 minutes each night, and we had to figure out because I think our sounds are similar, but also a little slightly different. So we have to figure out what their crowds are gonna like.
Yeah.
So the first 2 days was celebrate. Then we're like, let's get to work.
Yeah.
So we worked our ass off to get a set down, timed, because as an opening band, you do not want to go over your time.
You never want to go over your time.
So we timed that really, down so we could be off the stage, and we wanted to be easy to work with, so,
It helps that we're a duo.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's great for an opening band.
Right, I think that's one of the reasons that helped us, get it, and that's gotten us a lot in the past.
Yeah, because you don't take up a lot of space on stage.
Right,
so,
exactly.
especially when there's a big live setup like G Love has, it's a lot easier to move you guys in and out.
So, as far as time management, how did those 2 weeks work out? Did you have jobs that you had to work around, like notify people right away?
We had a few shows booked on, I think, the East Coast. We did a big New Year's Eve show on the East Coast, but that was really it. Besides that, we just had time to work, so that was fortunate that we had that time, to prepare.
Good for you, man. So who got that call for you? So, did you guys directly receive the call? Was it your manager?
My manager.
Yeah.
And then how did your manager present that to you?
He's like, so what are you guys doing in January and February? And we're like, well, I know we had one show booked ready, but we were just going to work on new stuff. He's like, how you guys feel about touring with G Love and Special Sauce?
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. How about no?
So that was a great way to phrase it. And we were just so excited. Because he had been trying for it for a little while, and then we kind of felt like we weren't going to get it, and then it kind of came out of nowhere, and then, we were super stoked. But the tour was amazing. Got to play our first international show, going up to Canada, playing Toronto. Everyone was super cool up there, super nice.
They're really chill up in Toronto.
Oh, definitely.
That was really, really cool. So we want to come back and hit, Canada a lot more frequently now, and we had some really good receptive crowds. Some highlights were Detroit. Texas was really welcoming to us, and so we're coming back to hit those markets in spring and summer. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Really, Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit was good.
Detroit was.
I'm not talking shit on Detroit. I'm just asking. You know, I've heard a lot of things, but I've heard that
man.
they have a resurgence in culture lately. So I'm curious about
venue was
what
beautiful,
that's like.
and that was the. I mean, every crowd was receptive. But they actually shouted for an encore, and as an opening act, like that never happened. So that was
fucking
super
awesome,
cool.
dude.
So shout out to Detroit for being awesome.
Yeah.
St. Andrews Hall is a beautiful venue, and we hope to be back.
Well, you guys are from the Clearwater area, right? So what was it like to come back and open for G Love at Janus?
Yeah, Janus was
Did you guys grow up going to shows at Janus?
Yeah.
And
it was a big party. It was like
because Janus is the place. Here that's been the dream for forever, and we actually just got to do it for the first time in December. We did like a Florida run with Pacifier and opened for them there.
Nice.
So this is our second time at Janus with G Love. And it was it was like the last 2 weeks of the tour that was on. So the tour was like 6 weeks. So 4 weeks on the road, then getting to come home and do a show at Janus was really, really special. So that was a big one for us.
Yeah. And I have to say, like, your live show is pretty incredible.
Thank you so
because I mean, it's rare to see a band actually put out live albums. First off,
Right.
I know you have the one from Ruth Eckerd Hall that you did,
Yep.
and then just your live videos online. That was the first thing when I first heard the band. I always listen to the album, but then I'm like, let me check out, like, see if there's a live video that I can see.
Yeah,
and I
me
saw
too.
you, Charlie, playing like drums and piano and singing at the same time. So you have one hand on the keyboard,
Yeah.
you have another hand that's keeping the beat on, snare and cymbals and everything. And it's like,
Right.
how I can't even walk and chew gum at the same time. So how do you do that?
I just taught myself over time to combine them. Like I said, I started piano, so that was the base for me musically, and which I'm really grateful that my parents put me in piano lessons early on.
Yeah, parents, put your kids in piano lessons.
Yeah, it's
really, do it.
And then playing drums, and then I became a huge Doors fan. And their keyboardist Ray Manzarek plays all their bass lines on a keyboard with his left hand, mini bass keyboard with his left hand, while he plays key parts with his right. So I'm like, that's really, really cool. And we didn't have a bass player, so I'm like, what if I tried that with the drums? And I asked my parents, is there any way I can get like a little keyboard and that I can use for bass sounds?
And they're like, what?
Like, what are you, crazy? Like, why would you do that? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, look, I'm going to try it. And
So you're going to be the entire rhythm section is what you said.
I'm like, no, I think I could try this. I don't know how old I am at this point. This is like 5 years ago, so.
Yeah, and then he makes me look back because all I do is play guitar.
Yeah, but you play some mean guitar, though. That's
you.
the key.
And now he's throwing in ukulele, keyboard, and melodica in the set, so he's really throwing down too. But yeah, and then that allowed us to be a full band as a duo. So that really has given us a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like, are you like ambidextrous too? Like, can you write with your left and your right hand?
Actually, not that well. So I don't know what's going on up here.
Yeah, because I can't even fathom, like, just drums are a whole thing in and of itself. So like, are you like, I don't know. I can't even fathom it.
Can you improv play drums and keyboard at the same time?
Or does it have to be like something where you have to have the track ready?
I can play, like.
Can you improv both of them at the same time?
Pretty much. If you give me like a key to do it in, like, yeah, I'll just.
I'm not even looking at it right now, but my mind's blown.
Thanks. Yeah.
And so I read that you played at one point with let me get his full name right. Was Vinny Mad Dog Lopez from the E Street Band? How did you guys meet him?
We met him through a mutual friend who used to come to our Krabby Bill shows, actually. We met a lot of cool people through Krabby's, so shout out to them.
So back up like your Krabby Bill shows, Kasha was she was just talking about that earlier. She's from Indian Rocks, and her mom, I guess, had seen you guys at Krabby Bill's, or
right.
Heard about you from Krabby Bill's. So that was like you had kind of a residency there for a while?
Yeah, we were like every Sunday first. We started there like every Sunday, like 1 o'clock in the heat during football season. So it's like, that was just to get,
get
pay
some
our
stage
dues.
time, yeah.
And then we moved to Saturday night, and we're like, oh shit, this is getting,
Yeah.
So we thought, just that we thought was cool, being the Saturday night band there. And that's really where we got to learn how to play to a crowd and how to improvise. And those were all 4-hour sets. So
wow.
So we had a lot of time to jam and a lot of time to.
So that was like your Beatles in Hamburg type phase, right? Where you guys are just playing every night, just getting tight, just learning.
Exactly.
You learn how to play together musically on stage.
Doing a lot of covers, but also we get to try out new originals on the crowd and see what works and what doesn't. really learn about stage presence and how to, because we'd see what gets people's attention and what doesn't,
Yeah.
So,
well, especially at a place like that, because when you get people's attention, like you're actually getting people's attention, because
Right.
people are there usually just
Right.
to eat and hang
There-
out.
There's
and
people there
relax.
eating chowder, and you got to get their attention.
Yeah, exactly. So you find out what works.
You gotta
You ever made a song
try
about?
to get them to put the spoon down and look up.
You ever made a song with the words or the word chowder in it
Not
to get their
yet, but we
attention?
might now. Yeah.
Well, have you
just
gone back to
casually
Krabby
mention-
Bill's?
Yeah.
Have you played there again recently?
No, but we've always talked about coming back and doing a big show there. So that's
Yeah.
something we're definitely thinking about.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Kind of a return to where we started. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, so it's just cool to see a band, basically in our backyard that's out there on the road and
Nice.
doing it,
Yeah, well,
doing it the
we're-
right way.
We're proud to be from here. I think the scene here is really underrated. I think it's a great little scene. Tampa, Ybor is great. St. Pete has really exploded musically lately, and
It's inspired a lot of our writing too, like the beach areas, like some of the nicest beaches that we've been to all over the country. I mean, Clearwater Beach is like number 1, number 2 in the country,
yeah.
and we just get so much inspiration from our area. So we're grateful to be from here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so your next big show, like we said at the beginning, is Gasparilla Music Fest.
Yes.
You're playing Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, we got main stage this year, so super excited about that, especially
Yeah.
with the lineup this year. Having the Roots, Spoon Record Company on the same stage that day is really pumped.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, just think about that. I mean, you're gonna be sharing a stage with Questlove.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
mind-blowing, yeah.
That's really cool. So do you have a big, all your friends back home going to come out to that show? You got a big
Oh, yeah.
crowd coming?
Yeah, it should be a
It's gonna
party
be-
for
yeah,
sure.
Definitely gonna be a party. And yeah, it's just because we're doing local shows more rarely now, so each one's gonna be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
you know.
That's how it should be.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the
So,
goal.
Yeah, we went to GMF last year, and it's a great, amazing festival. Very hot though, so
Very hot, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
fucking
and it's gonna be
hot.
hot.
Yeah.
Shit.
So make sure you guys stay hydrated. I don't want
Yeah,
for
don't want to
sure.
hear Ries Brothers pass out on stage.
Yeah.
But you're Floridian, so fuck the
Yeah,
sunscreen.
you
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
should. You probably
Fuck the sunscreen.
Yeah, don't wear sunscreen. That's like,
Yeah.
But no, actually, I mean, wear sunscreen if you need
Right.
to. I'm not trying to
No,
say
you're
anything.
Randy Ojeda does not condone cancer.
No, yeah. Wear sunscreen, and they have sunscreen that they give you at GMF.
Oh, no, it's not
nice.
just the park in general has these dispensers. You can go to the dispensers anytime and it'll
Oh,
automatically
nice.
squirt the right amount of sunscreen into your hand. It's beautiful
Nice.
at all times.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that show. We'll be there
Oh,
at
awesome.
GMF all weekend,
Beautiful.
hanging out, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And
Absolutely, thank you,
know.
man.
So, what's next on the horizon for Ries Brothers?
We got
So,
a bunch of festivals coming up. Let's see, we got Gasparilla, of
just
course.
announced Sunfest in West Palm.
Sunfest.
Okay,
yeah.
right on.
And we got Cali Roots Fest in Monterey, California for May, and Surrounded by the Sound is a pretty new festival in South Carolina, and we're playing that in September. Really excited about that. So right now we just have the 4 big festivals booked. Working on touring in between that. Should be coming out with some tour announcements soon. That's all in the works. And we're gonna do a big Ybor show also that we're announcing right after Gasparilla. So
Oh, right on.
So should we cut that out?
no,
Because you're
No,
not
you're
yeah.
just teasing it.
To
He's
create the
teasing
buzz,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
a little teaser. Well, keep us hip to that one. I want
For
to know.
sure,
I want to know.
absolutely.
I want to know first.
Yeah, you got it.
Cool. Well, after we turn the mics off, you can tell us all. About
Yeah.
Sure.
it. New album coming? Or
we're
are you guys
going-
just touring so much that it's
Yeah, but we are really excited to get new stuff out. So we going into the studio on Monday just to do demos and get started. And we're probably gonna do an EP next instead of a full album.
Just focus on like five or 4 really good songs.
yeah,
Narrow
just
it down and
just narrow it down to what we think is the best, and just do an EP this time. I think.
Yeah, right on. Where are you guys recording at?
We're doing we're going into so Ted Bound from Pacifier. That's where he's moved to St. Pete recently, and he has a studio
Really?
in his house. Yeah.
Oh, tell him to hit us up.
Yeah.
We should have him on the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely should. Yeah, and he produced our whole first album there.
Right on.
So yeah, and because we were big Pacifier fans before we even got to work with him, so that was really really cool. And he's featured on one of the songs on the album. He's got a guest vocal. So yeah, it was really great to work with him because Pacifier is also really good at blending genres. So that was an inspiration to us. You know, they have the reggae and they have the hard rock too. and the alternative. So that was really cool to get to work with someone like that, and especially because he's in a really successful touring band that's always on the road, so he knows what works out on the road. So having a producer who's also a touring band, that's really cool. So
Definitely.
yeah, but he definitely should come in here. He's awesome to talk to. So
right on. Well, that's awesome. I can't wait for some new music from you guys.
Yeah.
So very
same.
Jason, any other questions you got for these
You
guys?
you ever had an opening act open up for you and you think, fuck that shit, I'm going to tear this apart? Just a quick, not like fuck those people they say.
No, that's a fair
Jason.
question.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I know I can
Right.
get the crowd more excited than these people are.
Sometimes, yeah, and going. I mean, we love that. We love also to flip it around, and when we are the opening act, to say that also. It's hard, to compete sometimes with the people we are opening it, but just to say that, let's really, leave a
Let's
mark.
destroy this.
Let's
Yeah.
leave our mark.
And we think no matter what band you see or hear, there's always inspiration you can take from that, either to make the show better or don't do that on stage or do that on stage.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn from every act out there. So
That's why it's
cool.
hard to for me to go. It's kind of hard to go to concerts because I'm analyzing everything in the show, not really just enjoying the music. I'm like, oh, I should do that, or I'm definitely not going to do that next time.
Except
I wonder if that guy
except-
knows he's making a mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh, we should not have done that, but that really worked. And then I can't enjoy the music. I'm just
Except for reggae shows. You just go there.
yeah.
You guys ever go to the reggae shows at Skippers, the weekly reggae shows?
We haven't been to that in a while.
Wednesday
but
night,
we've been
man.
to tons of
Every Wednesday night.
Every Wednesday. All right.
Nice.
That's something we got to hit then. But
Yeah.
we always are at reggae shows around, Janice or down on the beaches and stuff. And then Reggae Rise Up's coming up. So we're going to hang out there. But yeah, the reggae scene really exploded in St. Pete in particular.
I'm not hip to this at all, so
Yeah.
you guys are gonna have to give me some names.
All the bands that became huge recently. Or not
Revolution,
recently,
Slightly
Revolution,
Stupid.
Yeah.
Tribal Seeds.
Stick Figure.
Stick Figure really blew up. And then there's a lot of great local ones. Resonated, Summer Survivors, and then Serenation's really killing it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw Serenation at Cultura Fest a while ago. They were really
yeah,
good.
and Hip Abduction too. They were there, right?
Oh yeah, the Hip Abduction.
Yeah.
I mean, they're awesome. So
Right.
yeah, I guess you're right. I guess
Yeah.
there is a really dope reggae scene.
Yeah, Reggae Rise Up is, he's huge. It's
Yeah.
really-
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts for the Cigar City Radio listeners? This is totally your floor, so whatever you want to say.
Thank you guys for having us. Check us out if you haven't heard of us. Ries Brothers, RIES. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, everything at Ries Brothers, Instagram.
Yeah, and
Twitter.
1 o'clock main stage, Saturday, March 10th, Gasparilla Music Festival. It's going to be a great day of music, so we're excited to kick it off.
Yep, check our website, riesbrothers.com, for upcoming shows and everything in between.
These guys are pros, man. They know what they're doing.
They've been trained by somebody.
Yeah, somebody's taught them well. Actually, you know what? That's my final question. Let's give a shout out to your parents, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
tell us, because you said, you asked your parents or you wanted to get a keyboard and stuff. So
Right.
your parents have been really supportive.
Super
over the
supportive,
years.
yeah. And they, they in the very beginning, they were everything from the financiers to the roadies to the, so they really fortunate because we've heard, some sad stories about kids who wanted to play and their parents were like, no way. So just to have parents that are really supportive has really made a big difference. And they've been incredible. They were pretty much our managers for the first 4 years or so and did everything for us and helped us exponentially. And then we recently brought in an amazing manager, David Parnes, who I'm giving a shout out to. He's absolutely incredible, and we're very lucky to have him on the team. So yeah, we're just thankful for the team we put together, and we're ready to keep it going.
Well, there you go. Always give shout outs to the parents and the managers.
Yes.
That's how you do it.
Yes.
Right on, guys. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you for having us.
And they've taken their two-man show across this and they've taken their two-man show across the. Why can't I say across the country?